Hello, I'm Jerry Van Dyke. Please make a donation to the Carnegie Council's annual fund. It will directly support programs such as the video you're about to watch. These are very challenging times. Please keep the voices for ethics alive. Go to carnegiecouncil.org and click on the button marked support. Thank you.
The importance of the House of Saud is that if it weren't for this family who conquered, unified, pulled together, whatever word you want to use, the peninsula, these two centers of very different influence and significance would be separate. They were separate for centuries. After the decline of the early Islamic Empire, they were separate at the beginning of the 20th century. And it was the House of Saud, and particularly now on the back you can see Ibn Saud, as we call him in the West, Abdulaziz, servant of the mighty, father of the present king, in fact, father of all the modern kings of Saudi Arabia. It was he who, in a series of dazzling and very politically skillful campaigns, partly conquest, partly consensus. The House of Saud are great consensus builders. People talk about Saudi Arabia not being a proper political entity. They haven't met the House of Saud and see how they operate. It's not Western democracy. But the way they are wheelers and dealers, let me tell you, well, it's all in the book. And this family pulled it all together. At the beginning of the 20th century, the Hijaz was ruled by Omar Sharif's father, by which I mean, I'm thinking of Lawrence of Arabia, Hijaz. The Hijaz, the Hashemites ruled the Hijaz, the Red Sea coast. Ibn Saud finished his conquest by kicking them out. We, the British, gave them Jordan and Iraq as consolation prizes. And we, the British, who at that time considered ourselves the United States of the area, as you now are, felt that we would leave Ibn Saud in place. In fact, we couldn't do anything about it. I mean, the power structure that this man created in the, well, it's not quite in our lifetimes now, but in the less than 100 years ago, is quite extraordinary. He built this nation. And there's just one third thing, that so these two incredibly significant areas were brought together under the control of the House of Saud and the particularly austere strand of Islam, the puritanical strand of Islam, which had enabled the House of Saud to conquer Arabia in a religious mission.